Welcome to BigCountryPreps.com. I'm Evan Wren, and this is our countdown to two-a-days series, our daily look at an area football team and the key questions we're going to be answering about that team on our August 17th preseason football preview here at Big Country Preps. I'm with my partner, Dan Youngblood, via Zoom, and tonight, Dan, we're going to be talking about the Saba Armadillos.
Yeah, and this is a Saba team that struggled a little bit last year, going 2-9, but they were able to kind of salvage a season, going 2-3 in district to make the playoffs with a young group. And they've got some talent back from that team. They've got 15 of their 22 lettermen back, including 5 starters on both sides of the football. Got a quarterback back in his second year in Lance Taylor, and then have some offensive and defensive linemen to kind of build around a little bit. So I think that if you're a Saba fan, you should expect some improvement. The one thing is you're in a pretty tough district, so it's going to be hard to rise in that league. But I do expect Saba to be better this year.
I don't know I don't know. They only have 5. I don't know. I might disagree with you on that one. They've got 5 starters back on both sides of the football, but they had some big graduation losses. Wesley Lackey is a big loss. Reagan Mejia is a big loss. Franco, the wide receiver, is a big loss. I don't know how much of a step forward they can take with only 5 back on both sides of the football. They had a 4-6 JV last year. We'll see. And they're going to be in a district where every single team in that league expects to be better. So even if Saba is technically putting together a better product this year, it might be tough to prove it as far as win-loss record. It might be tough.
Yeah, here's the one thing I think is really going for them. Is the fact that they do have a second-year starting quarterback in Lance Taylor, a kid who
that helps.
Made some mistakes last year. He had 20 interceptions last year, but the thing is, he showed that he can make plays too. Threw for over 2,000 yards, 18 passing touchdowns. I think in his second year, you're going to see that turnover number go down a little bit, and I think their offense will be a lot more efficient. But you are right. They are missing some kids out of that receiving core, especially the 3 you mentioned. Those are going to be big losses. But Tyler Johnson at the wide receiver position had over 500 yards receiving last year. I think he's going to be a big weapon for him. So, like I said, it's going to be hard to climb real high in that district, but I think they've got as good a shot as anyone, in my opinion, at claiming that 3rd or 4th playoff spot.
I think they've got a shot at a playoff spot. I just don't know how much of a step forward they can make given what they've lost and what they've got coming back. We shall see. I might be dead wrong. But one thing I do like about this team is that they do have some size up front. They should be able to get a push up front. Christian Ramirez is back, a 267-pounder. And then they've got Dalen Smith, 6'7", 317-pound offensive lineman coming back as a senior. They're going to get a push up front. And that's we know the value of that in football. You got to have it.
Yeah, I agree. And one other thing that I just like about that squad is the fact that I think that Coach Aguirre over there, the expectations are such that, I mean, he's not going to let them have another season like they had last year, I don't think. I think that you're going to see just improvement from the standpoint that the expectations are always going to be really high in that program. And you are right. They're going to have some challenges in front of them, given what they lost from last year's team and kind of what they got coming up from their JV. But I just think when you got 15 guys that we experienced that last year, that were able to kind of be part of that push at the end of the season to get into the playoffs, I think that was a benefit. We'll just see if maybe they can use that as a little bit of a springboard.
Well, having seen Saba's workouts up close and personal, I've been there and I've watched them. I've seen these guys work out. If Saba does not reach its goals, if Saba does not improve this year, it's not going to be for a lack of working. I can tell you right now, there's not a harder working group in the big country. I have not seen any team work harder in their daily workouts than those guys. Their workouts are brutal. They really are.
Yeah, that's certainly a large emphasis for them, that weight room. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at their schedule. They open with a home game against Florence, then go to Junction, to Johnson City, and to El Dorado. So they have 3 straight road games to close out their non-district slate before opening district with another road game at Hamilton on September 23rd. They follow that with a home game against Coleman, a road date at De Leon, a home game against Bangs, a road date at Goldthwaite, and they finish up with a home game at Toller.
Yeah, and if you look at that schedule, Dan, there's 2 games that I think are going to be really big keys for them. It's going to be the district opener at Hamilton. That's going to be one key ball game. Another one's going to be at Goldthwaite. And I'm looking at the games where they're going to be fighting for those 3 and 4 seeds, and those are the teams that they're really going to be up against. Toller and Coleman are going to be the clear-cut favorites for the 1 and 2 spots. After that, the teams that you got to beat, if you want a playoff spot, it's going to be road dates at Hamilton and Goldthwaite. Those are going to be tough ball games, but those are the ones that San Saba must win if they're gonna get a playoff seed.
Yeah, and that is the one thing that I think is pretty tough when you look at the schedule is that they have 6 of their 10 dates on the road, including 3 of the games in district that they're either going to, really have to play well in and potentially win if they want to make the playoffs. You mentioned Hamilton, you mentioned Goldthwaite. Those are obviously going to be really big games. And then that at De Leon date is going to be a big one too, just in terms of that's one they're going to have to take care of if they hope to make the playoffs as well. So when you look at that schedule in district in particular, you've got Coleman and Toller at home. Both of those are going to be very, very tough for the reasons you mentioned. Those 2 teams are going to be very good this year. And then you've got Bangs at home, which is a winnable game. But other than that, you're on the road for all of your most important games. So this is definitely going to be a tough slate for them in that regard.
All right, and with that, it's just about time to wrap up tonight's edition of the Countdown to Two-A-Day series, the San Saba Armadillos. But before we do that, we want to remind you that we've got 3 separate subscription packages here at Big Country Preps. We've got a monthly for $5 a month. We've got a semi-annual subscription, 6 months for $4 a month. And then we've got an annual subscription, a 12-month subscription where we knock that price down to $3 a month, $36 for a full year of Big Country High School athletic coverage. And regardless of the high inflation that we have right now in this country, we have not raised our prices.
We'd also like to remind you before we close out this episode of our Countdown series to be on the lookout for that August 17th preseason football preview. We will just have a ton of area content. You will definitely not want to miss that. In the meantime, thank you for joining us for this episode of our Countdown to Two-A-Day series. And make sure you join us again tomorrow when we will be talking about the Ballinger Bearcats here at BigCountryPreps.com.